I am wondering if you'd like to move from anxiety to This is something I'd really like to have happening in my life. And I think we all have anxiety. We all have sources of stress. And I find that it doesn't really matter what the source of stress is. The feelings inside of our bodies are the same. I know for me, I feel a tightness. I find that my mind is ruminating. I worry about the same thing over and over. Sometimes I get distracted. My family would say I get irritable. So it really doesn't matter if it's a physical, an emotional, a mental, even a spiritual or relational or financial stressor that's making us be anxious instead of being in awe. The feelings in our bodies are the same. So as a way of getting into this topic today, I'm going to answer the number one question that I get over and over. Now, I don't get this question based on the facts that I'm a mom or a grandmom or a counselor of 30 some years, or even as a practitioner or a minister. I get this question simply because I'm alive. So the odds against my being here 10 years after a dire cancer diagnosis are 93% against. So I'm in the 7% of people who've lived 10 years with a diagnosis of lung cancer with mets to the brain. So what people ask me is, how are you still here? And I say, by the grace of God, every day's a miracle. I'm a miracle. Every day's a blessing. And that satisfies some people, but others want to dig further like we're going to do today. And they say, but what are you doing? And so I love our metaphysical teaching, the science of mind and spirit, or as I call it, science of mind, body, and spirit. So I have 3 particular practices and principles that I live by, and because they're so important to me, and I'm hoping you'll find some importance in them also, I call them the VIPs of Science of Mind practice. So the first one is the V, and it stands for visualization. And our minds are just incredible 3-pound organs. I mean, there are many structures within our brains, but as it all works together in beautiful divine temple concert, it's just forever amazing to me. So 3 things our brain can do is it can visualize what happened in the past. Oh, I remember that vacation. I was here doing this. Or our minds can visualize the future. Oh, I want to be on my next trip in this place doing this. Or our minds can have present moment awareness. I might be better at going back or going forward than I am at present moment awareness in the eternal now. But just knowing that my brain can be here now helps me with this process of visualization. So I like to use certain visualizations for certain things. So of course I've used Pac-Man, gobbling up cells I don't want, but I also have used the ticker tape parade, the confetti parade that the Broncos had when they won that Super Bowl. Are they ever going to do that again? Who knows? But that's projecting into the future. Just visualizing now, I see all of that confetti coming toward me, raining down on me, and it just takes away anything that I don't want. Another one that I'm currently using because I'm down from 16 spots in my brain to just 3, and I found this one really effective, is to see dry ice melting, just evaporating away. Poof, things are gone. I'm loving that one. So I'm also privileged here at Mile High Church to be part of the healing ministry. And on Wednesday nights, we have a healing support group. Last night, we had 30 wonderful beloveds there with us. And we did a little visualization. And the things they visualize are just incredible. They visualize a healing of a relationship. They visualize fluid flowing to certain joints. They visualize their eyesight improving. Some people visualize the tinnitus, in their hearing just fading, fading, fading. So this process of visualization is so powerful. It does several things. It does keep us in the present moment awareness, and it sends the best case scenario, I guess you would say, to our brains. And really, what do our brains do? They are prediction machines. So this comes in really handy, say when we're driving and you're approaching an intersection and the light turns yellow and you have to visualize what would it be like to hit the gas and run through this intersection versus what would it be like to hit the brakes and wonder what the guy behind me is going to do. So this predictive ability of our brains is wonderful, but sometimes due to the stress and anxiety in our lives, it predicts a worst case scenario. So instead, just wipe that slate clean and install what you want as your best case scenario. Do you want to practice this? You want to try it? Here's what I like to do as a way of getting people into this. So if you just close your eyes right now and you hunch your shoulders up like you're anxious, and then you drop them and say, on the exhale, ah. Then you're already in a better state of receptivity. And then I like to picture a round, pudgy, fat, giggling baby. A giggling baby. It's wiggling its arms and its legs, and its whole body is happy. Let's breathe again and come back to present moment awareness. So your brain doesn't know if you're really seeing the baby or not. It responds with the release of hormones and chemicals that it would as if it were really happening, which is very healing and very reducing of anxiety and stress. So visualize whatever you want, just have it be a best case scenario. Okay, the second factor, the second spiritual principle I find really helpful is the use of intentions. So intentions are simply a sentence, usually brief, that we say it in the present tense, and it tells the universe, the great big delicatessen of the divine universe, what it is that we'd like to have happen in our lives. We live in a participatory universe, so this is one really important way that we participate. So the other thing I think that's really important to know about intentions is that they're best when delivered with feeling, with emotion. So you have your emotion, infuse it with a lot of feeling, and you get a manifestation. So the two work best in what I've seen in the last decade or so when they're married with something you really, really want to have happen. So there are two really popular intentions that we use a lot in the healing ministry. The first one is simply just, all my cells are well. Say it with me if you want to. All my cells are well. And it sends that message to our bodies. This is what we have happening now. We have wellness, we have wholeness, we have ease, we have grace. And anything unlike that, such as tension, stress, or anxiety, can just melt. Another really popular one is I handle blank successfully. So again, we can go back to whatever it is that's stressing us, insert that in the intention, and just tell yourself you're handling it successfully. So for me, I handle cancer successfully. Sometimes I switch it up. I handle my relationships successfully. I handle my finances successfully. And it just gives me that little boost. It makes me my own best friend. It silences my inner critic that really gets going when I'm tense or anxious, and just makes everything better. So the I is for intention. Do you know the story about the Navy SEALs? If 100 guys enter the Navy SEAL program, only about 18 or 20 of them make it out. And the toughest week they face is their 8th week, and it's called Hell Week. And they have to do underwater demolition kinds of things, and they go sleepless, without sleep, for about 5.5 days. So they do a pre-test with these Navy SEALs, and then they look at who graduates. And over with each class of Navy SEALs, what they find is that the guys who believe stress is enhancing make it out. They graduate. So somehow they have this belief that stress doesn't harm them, it enhances their performance. So they also say things like to themselves, I'm resilient, I've got this, I've done tough stuff before, and those are their intentions. I'm not sure they know they're using intentions, but just to have the mindset that stress can be enhancing and not damaging is very powerful. And then third and finally, and very, very importantly, the P stands for prayer. I love going to prayer. So for me, it's a time to just marry the inner and the outer, and to be in concert with the creative ultimate presence, the energy, the light, and the information that imagined me and brought me into being and sustains me every minute of my life with every heartbeat and every breath that I take. So I go into prayer, and it always includes some gratitudes because I'm grateful. I hope these VIPs can help you as they've helped me as you go from anxiety to ah.
I'm so grateful right now to be in this sacred space, knowing that Spirit is right here, right now, always, wherever I am, wherever I go. And I know that Spirit is the soul source, the soul creator, from which everything has come, including me. And so I know that I am of that Spirit, as is every other person, place, or thing. And I take such great comfort in that, knowing that I'm never without Spirit. I'm never without the love surrounding me and holding me. And so I know that divine right action is alive and well in my life, that I welcome it in, and I know that I cannot make a wrong decision. I can't be in the wrong place at the wrong time, for I am divinely guided. Perhaps through intuition, perhaps through chance meetings, whatever the situation, I get the message from Spirit, directly from Divine Mind, that this is the way to go. This is the choice to make. And I know this is true for me, and it's true for everyone listening to this prayer, that we each, with great expectancy, each day know that we are guided, guarded, directed to be where we need to be, to experience what we need to experience. And so I'm so grateful for this divine right action. And I listen, I act upon, and I process those messages that I receive, those directions that I get directly from Divine Mind. What a gift. And I know this is true for everyone listening, that this coming week, we are all exactly on our path with Spirit, co-creating the week ahead. And I'm grateful for this guidance. I'm grateful for this teaching and this wisdom. And I know that as I place these words into the law, with absolute certainty and faith, that it is done, it is already manifesting, and so it is.